Hey, this is Hans again with a video for a new module called the mods. Um, yeah, that's the sort of advantage of being sick and cannot leave the house. Then I get my laptop and I start programming, and all of these modules come out from some ideas that I get or from some things that I see. In this case, I was thinking about LFOs and that of course you can add up loads and loads of LFOs to get specific effects, non-linear LFOs or that kind of stuff. In this case, I created mods, which is actually a combination of a couple of LFOs in there, a couple of LFOs with different waves and such that you can set. And in the same style as the dreads module, I opted for a sort of a large macro knob that you can change. And what the macro knob does is going from sort of a soft setting, it's going all the way up to a very heavy setting. And you see that the wave, which shows you one period of that wave, is changing. Normally, I could do stuff like a random wave, but a random wave will indeed be random. And in this case, it's actually a repeating wave that it gets, although you can change stuff, of course. There's except or besides the macro knob that goes from soft range into a heavy range, and I might include that in the knob tooltip or something. I have a rate that can go from slow, very slow, up to one, which is I don't even know by heart. I'll have it set to hertz or something. Then there's the depth. The depth, of course, changes how much output there comes from the output, and apart from that, I have a skew, and the skew is actually changing the way that the waves in there behave. So if I set it on something like this and I change the skew, you see that it sort of shifts the way that the waves in there, because there are different wave types, that they behave, and the bias also changes that and changes sort of the priority. But then again, this would be a period of the wave that comes out, so it's more predictable than having separate LFOs. This now is a combination of those sort of synced LFOs in there that all do something together. On the on the input side of things, I have the macro input that changes or that adds CV to your macro base button, sort of. I have a rate settings that you might be able to modulate. The multiply, so that means that if I set this and I use an envelope, for instance, or an LFO, that the zero part will also take back your modulation output to zero, and otherwise you have it, you can connect it like that. And a delay input, make sure that if you gate this, there is no value unless or until the setting of this delay. So that means that if you use it to do a sort of a frequency modulation, you can actually trigger it, so you have a delayed trigger for that. So if I, for instance, let's take this tables. Let's see how the output is. I'll dial it back a bit, so I'm hopefully a bit more hearable in this. I'll have this, and I'll switch to some sort of different sound a bit. And let's first of all take the output into the frequency modulation. So I got something like this. So if I dial it back a bit, it's usable as normal vibrato almost. But if I start dialing this in, it gets more rough, and the further you go, desto more aggressive it gets. And of course I could use this modulation not only for this, but also for morphing. As I said, it's still sort of a predictable pattern that you get in the full wave, unless of course you start modulating all of these as well. So this is the morph input. Let's take the shape that's shaping all of this. And let's put this into frequency modulation. But I could probably also use this to see if I could gate this instead. So take this. Now the gate will be triggered by the mods. So you get sort of a predictable but still sort of semi-random kind of gate on the table. So maybe change the ratio as well from So yeah, that's basically what mods can do for you. As I said, it is a modulator. You can use it from pretty soft, almost vibrato kind of thing, into very heavy, very distorted or very aggressive kind of modulation, where you can change how it responds by using the bias and the skew. And as said, delay is something that you have to trigger by using delay. So if I use that trigger, so now I have no sound, of course, no sound at all. So let's dial this on again. If I put something into the gate, it will not respond unless I press a key. So if I use this, something like that, it becomes playable that way. So anyway, that's mods. Will be available within a couple of days, hopefully. So I'll see you back in the next video. So cheers, bye bye.